Mythological creatures are a part of all cultures, but surely not all of them are complete fabrications. While some may be a result of stories created to explain mysterious phenomenon or missing people, it's quite likely that some legends are based purely on fact. Just because we haven't any tangible evidence doesn't mean they don't exist. Nowadays, there are so many cameras everywhere that the chances of gathering such evidence are better than ever. In this video, we'll be exploring 5 times that people accidentally spotted mythical creatures on tape. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. Ningen. With so much of the Earth's ocean still unexplored, it's quite possible that there are monsters of the deep that remain undiscovered. Ships everywhere are now fitted with underwater cameras to give them a view of the topography of the seabed so they can avoid any risk of running aground. But sometimes, these camera feeds pick up something completely unexpected. One such video surfaced that was recorded on a Japanese whale research ship in 2006. The footage shows darkness and shadows, as you'd expect, but then something comes into view. At first, you might think it was a creature from Stranger Things, but then it becomes clearer. Rather than being man-made, as the crew initially suspected, it goes on to move in a way that no man-made object does. It's thought to be at least 65 feet long, has a human appearance, and is even suggested to have hands with 5 fingers. It moves in a definite way, so surely is alive, but there's no record of any known animal with these dimensions and ability of movement that's shown here. The ship was off the coast of Antarctica when this mysterious entity was filmed, and the Japanese sailors immediately thought they had seen the Ningen, a mythical, human-like life form that lives in the waters around the White Continent. There have been a number of reported sightings, usually made by whale research ships, and they are often thought to be submarines until they approach closer and see the unusual shape. Ningen are mostly spotted at nighttime, but beyond grainy footage like this, no definitive proof of these creatures has ever been found. Japanese cryptozoologists are convinced that they exist though, and often refer to them as Antarctic humans. Of course, people have suggested explanations for what this might be. Is it a whale, a squid, or maybe a manta ray? It could even simply be an iceberg. Without being certain, it could easily be a yet-to-be-discovered underwater species of ape or something similar. Until we know more, its true identity will remain a mystery. Number 4. Iceland Worm Monster. This next video is of another legendary underwater creature, the Iceland worm. Sightings of it have been reported for as far back as 1345, and this video from 2012 quite clearly shows a large, long creature swimming beneath the waves. The video is taken from Lake Lagerflöt, a freshwater lake that's filled with runoff from the nearby glacier. The siltation that occurs within the lake means that visibility is extremely poor and has made extensive searches for the monster very difficult. There are legends in the area of people who've witnessed the monster outside of the water too, simply curled around a tree. A number of mysterious occurrences have taken place in the lake too, with one in 1983 being especially strange. Contractors were laying telephone cables, and while doing so, they detected a large mass within the water that couldn't be identified. Later, the cable failed, so it had to be removed. To their surprise, they found that the fault in the cable had occurred precisely where this anomaly had been measured. The engineer at the time said this cable was specially engineered so it wouldn't kink. It was wound in several places and badly torn and damaged in 22 different places. I believe we dragged it over the belly of the beast, unless it was through its mouth. The interesting thing about this video is that the object is moving against the current and in a serpentine way. Initially, people assumed it was simply a log or grass getting caught in the flow of water, but it doesn't react the way you'd expect. It's also not the only video claiming to be the worm monster. There are at least 2 more that have been released to the world. So convincing are some of the claims of the worm that the Icelandic government set up a truth commission in 2014 to look into it further. They came to the conclusion that there was no reason to doubt the existence of the creature, and even decided they were sure that the video was genuine. Whatever it is, it surely justifies further investigation to determine exactly what's happening in this lake. It's an ancient place that was formed during the last ice age, so if there ever was anywhere that a large sea creature actually existed, why not here? Number 3. Bigfoot. Bigfoot, or the Sasquatch, has been part of American folklore for centuries. It's a human-like creature that lives in forests around the Pacific Northwest and is recognizable by the hairy coat that keeps it warm. There's endless debate about whether Bigfoot actually exists or not, and the search has even spawned a number of investigative TV programs and scientific explorations to gather evidence. So far, these attempts have failed, but could amateur footage reveal the truth? This video from 2016 that was recorded at Wild Horse Lake in Oregon could be the most definitive proof yet. The family are recording their father as he looks across the water when the boy notices something in the distance. "Dad, what is that?" he shouts and points in the direction. The camera pans and, lo and behold, a Bigfoot-like creature can be seen running across the field. "Wow, what is that?" the man shouts before someone suggests it's a bear. It's clearly not a bear though, because it's walking on 2 feet. He turns to try and take a picture with his camera, but by the time he's aimed in the right direction, the mysterious figure has disappeared into the undergrowth. It's difficult to tell what the creature is from the video because it's so far away, but it certainly fits the description of the legendary Bigfoot. Skeptics have suggested that this is a completely set up video and is, in fact, a person wearing a costume for the sake of the video. While this is absolutely plausible, it's by no means clear either way. People have previously gone to a lot of effort to produce a fraudulent image of Bigfoot, but someday someone is bound to capture it for real. It's not the only sighting in recent time either, and there are numerous pictures of hairy-looking creatures running through the woods. As with all mythical creatures, there's usually a grounded reason for the legend to start in the first place, and we can never be sure that we found everything there is to discover out in the wild. Perhaps the legend of Bigfoot will go on forever. Maybe someone will actually discover it for real. Or perhaps it's already been spotted, but people are so quick to dismiss evidence that they've overlooked it. Number 2. Skinwalker. It's not just the Bigfoot that's thought to live in the forests, according to Navajo culture. There's also a creature called a skinwalker, supposedly a shape-shifting witch. Skinwalkers are thought to be healers, using their ability to transform into animals so they can get up close without being detected. The Navajos believe that witches like this are evil and contrary to their values, so there are a lot of teaching about how to control such forces. A real-life skinwalker has never been captured, but this video from January 2017 is the closest anyone may have come. It starts with what looks like a 4-legged creature sheltering next to a large rock. As the camera zooms in, it's clear this is no normal animal. It has a hunched back, looks almost human-like as it sits there. As the cameraman tries to get a better angle, the creature gets spooked and runs over the hill. As it does so, it appears to turn into a cat-like creature and vanishes into the rocks of the mountain. Despite searching for it again, there's no sign of it, and the mystery remains. It's clearly not a panther or a dog, which are common in this area and across all Navajo territory in Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico, and so far, no one has a complete explanation of what it could be. Sure, there are some shadow effects taking place here, but the creature that makes its way across the top of the mountain appears to be a very different shape to the one that was stood next to the boulder at the beginning. The Navajo have lived in this area for a long time, and if they're convinced that creatures like this exist, and they are, then who are we to claim anything otherwise? There's plenty that we don't know about this world, and this could very well be one of those things. Since the posting of this video, people have tried to witness another one of these mythical creatures, but have so far come up short. One thing's for sure, if you do ever find one yourself, it would probably be best to stay well clear, because they're thought to foreshadow bad things for those that witness them. Number 1. Indonesian Angel. This final video comes from Indonesia and is the most conclusive proof of a mythical creature that anyone has ever caught on camera. It was recorded by a security camera in Selandak Town Square in South Jakarta, and has baffled experts since it was released in 2011. It seems like any other night, with very little going on. A person walks across the shopping center floor and then, when all is quiet, an angel appears to fall to the floor and they fly away again. The area lights up as the mythical being lands, and it's hard to make out the precise shape of it. It appears to have wings and simply made a mistake by falling to the ground. Once it leaves, a group of people can be seen running over with lights on their phones to investigate what happened, but they find nothing. Looking closer, you can clearly see an initial reflection on the ground of it approaching, and then a central figure surrounded by glowing features that falls into shot. It's almost like a phoenix rising from the flames. No sooner has it crumpled in a heap on the ground than it gathers its composure and launches back into the sky in a similar way that any bird would, just much faster. This sure is an amazing video, and if it truly caught an image of an angel, then it would be the first time in the modern era that people have seen such an occurrence. People have long believed that creatures of light like this exist, and we just have to open our eyes to the possibility of their existence. It's also possible too that it's a hoax, but it would have been a huge amount of effort to put this together. Ultimately, whether this footage is of a real angel or not, it definitely awakens the imagination to what could be out there, and makes you want to find out more. No further images of this angel have ever become available, so it looks like a one-off occurrence. Then again, maybe the next one will appear in your local shopping center, so keep a watch out. Super exciting news, everybody! The time has finally come. Head over to Come Along and enjoy the positivity from cool life hacks and crazy experiments to real-life shocking facts and puzzles and animated riddles to keep your brain active and entertained. Click the circle button on the screen right now to subscribe to this awesome channel that's soon to explode across YouTube. Come on, press that subscribe button and watch the first video, or click the link in the description. We promise you'll love it.